Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Ask Dr. Jack Show. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so this week we're talking about ADHD. And the question comes from the question is how ADHD is diagnosed. How these young kids are getting diagnosed with these disorders.
Yes.
There you go.
And it's a big thing this time of year because people are thinking about getting their kids back to school already. I mean, summer's halfway over now. And, if your kid does have a problem, now is the time to start working on it so maybe we can avoid something for the school year. I'll tell you, the biggest problem with a diagnosis of ADHD or ADD is that there is no real scientific way to do it. It's all very subjective. It's not like there's a blood test that you can test the brain chemistry, so that you know how much to give a kid or, what parts of the brain are overworking or anything like that at all. It's a very subjective diagnosis. It's based on behavior and what people perceive as the right behavior and the wrong behavior, and based on the kid's age and how they interact. And, it's not very scientific at all, and it gets me very frustrated. Because the biggest problem is that when a kid is diagnosed, everybody wants to put them on a drug. And those drugs are so amazingly dangerous. I mean, they're in the same classification as cocaine, which is very dangerous for
Well, they're
kids.
methamphetamine.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you're giving your child meth, basically. So when they diagnose, basically, there's two categories of impulsiveness and
Concentration.
That's fine. And they have to hit at least 6 of these 9 markers in at least one of these categories, and then have these markers be present for 6 months, and then they can medicate their child.
Exactly. If you have a child who is got some issues, and let's face it, it's very possible kids have these issues because we don't have as much outdoor activity and things like that as the kids were when I was, younger. I mean, there's a lot more reason for kids to be hyperactive and overactive and things like that. So you start getting these symptoms, and everybody wants the easy way out. A teacher doesn't want to have to actually manage the classroom. They just rather, hey, let's put the kid on some drugs, and then they don't have to be a big deal. So avoiding this diagnosis is huge, because it can really save your kid. Because what is it doing to the brain chemistry? That's the big problem. What is going to happen to your? They're showing all kinds of new studies about how these kids stop needing affection and needing encouragement and things like this. They stop working for that. What's that going to be like when they're adults? And the happiness and joy that comes out of those things is going to be gone, and they're going to be just a whole different person. And with so many kids on these diagnoses taking these drugs, it's crazy.
Well, so one of the things that really shocked me is that these things only have to be present for 6 months in order to get a diagnosis. And I mean, you're comparing behaviors in human beings that are from different places, eating different foods, in different family environments, different family dynamics, different school systems, and you can't take child A from, upper middle class Midwest America and compare him to child B in downtown New York. I mean, there's no comparison in between those two things, and then give them both the same diagnosis and then essentially the same medications.
It is crazy. And here's the thing, is that it'd be different if there's nothing else that you could do. But there are so many amazing things, and we've seen so many of the changes here in this office with our patients. A lot of it comes from food allergies. Food allergies are huge, and they make the brain go overstimulated. There's other reasons that the brain gets overstimulated, and they need to be acting out in order to calm themselves, basically. So if you are even considering getting a child analyzed for this, or if your child has been given this diagnosis, please bring them into the office. Maybe it's a loved one, send them this video. We can do some amazing things here, and we can get the kid or keep the kid off of these medications. And I'll tell you, you can't give a kid a better present for the rest of their life than keeping these kids off these medications. So share this video with people that you think might be interested in it. Like our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page. That'll help us get this information out to more people who really need to see it, because it is so huge these days it's so dangerous. So that's it for this episode of the Ask Dr. Jack Show. I am Dr. Jack Bielitz, chiropractor here in Omaha, Nebraska. I hope you have a very happy, healthy, and wonderful day, and we will see you on the next episode of the Ask Dr. Jack Show.
Bye.